Every day, millions of us create something, a blog post, a video like this, a news article. We put it online, relying on a simple sort of unwritten pact between the platforms and us, platforms like Google. Our quality sort of content for their visibility, the visibility they are giving us. What happens when that pact is broken? What if the very platform you rely on starts using your work, your expertise, and your own creativity to train its own AI, essentially creating a competitor that could one day, a near one, replace you, all without asking for permission? Or, by the way, without paying a single cent? This is not really a dystopian fantasy. It's exactly the accusation of the European Commission that has levered on Google in a massive new antitrust investigation. And we will talk a little bit about that. I'm Matteo Flora, and this is Ciao Internet from Europe. Ciao Internet. The European Commission has launched a formal antitrust investigation into Google. And it isn't just another fine, it's a deep look into the very engine of its new AI product. The core accusation is that Google is abusing its dominant market position. It's allegedly using content from web publishers and YouTube creators to train its generative AI models, like the one that powers the AI overview in search results. You know what? The AI-generated part when you ask something to Google. And all of this is happening without any kind of explicit permission, without fair compensation, and, critically, without a real option or to opt out. For a publisher, being delisted from Google search is sort of a death sentence. For a creator, leaving YouTube means abandoning their audience and their career to an extent. The legal basis here is not really copyright law, but it's Article 102 of the Treaty in the Functioning of the EU, which prohibits the abuse of a dominant position. It's an antitrust case. It's not really a copyright case. And this is basically a competition issue. It's not just an intellectual property one. Think of it like a restaurant owner who takes ingredients from every chef's dish to create a single house special that they serve at the door, satisfying customers before they even see the menu. The chefs are left with empty not chickens, but kitchens. That's an Italian with false friends. And no real customers. Okay, let's face the real issue here. The real issue is the absence of what we could call a meaningful choice. This is what elevates it from a simple data scraping case to a potential abuse of power. The Commission is asking, can a publisher really afford to say no to Google? The answer is almost always a flat no. And this is structural dependency is the weapon that Google is used. We are technically witnessing to a new form of what Shoshana Zuboff in a beautiful book called surveillance capitalism. But it has evolved. It's no longer just about harvesting behavioral data, our click, likes, etc., to predict our next action. It's now about appropriating the very substance of human creativity and knowledge as free raw material for generative AI. Is data extractivism 2.0? Google isn't just using these data, it's ring-fencing it to a certain point. YouTube policies, for example, prevent third parties from using its content to train rival AIs. This creates a formidable competitive advantage, an unfair moat, we could call it, built with other people's bricks, if you think about that. This unilateral change of rules devalues the work of creators, technically. If users can get their answer from AI summary at the top of the search result, well, the incentive to click through to the original articles plummets. And this starves the same content ecosystem of which traffic is a sort of its lifeblood, and it's the underlying pact. I give you a little bit of my content in the search results, but the user must click and transfer some sort of traffic through me. With this new implementation, the traffic never arrives, okay, or in a non-significant percentage. The fundamental contract of the open web is being constantly rewritten, okay? It used to be some sort of symbiotic relationship. Now it risks becoming sort of a parasitic one, where the host platforms gain strength by weakening the creators that live on it, technically, most of the time. So, this investigation, the thing, if you're not familiar with the EU, this investigation isn't really happening in a vacuum. It's a calculated move within Europe's broader digital strategy. Think of the DMA, the Digital Market Act, and the AI Act as some sort of drawing the architectural plans for a fairer digital future. Antitrust enforcement is sort of the bulldozer clearing the ground in the present. And the message from Brussels to the Silicon Valley is sharp and clear. AI innovation cannot be just a move fast and break things game, especially when the things being broken are entire creative industries and the principle of fair competition. There is a systemic risk at play right now. If journalism, expert commentaries, and creative works are no longer economically sustainable because the value is extracted from them without any kind of reward, the quality of information online will inevitably degrade. And an AI that is trained on this future internet of low quality, obsolete, and AI generated sludge will be a very stupid AI indeed, by the way. And this case forces a fundamental economic question that we have so far sort of avoided. What is the price of the data that fuels AI? Because for years, the new oil has been treated as a free, inexhaustible source of information, and Europe is now positioning itself to bring back a little bit of value and to build, how can I call it, the first oil rigs to send a bill to the oil users. Ultimately, this isn't just a legal battle. It's a sort of a negotiation over the future of the internet's economy. Will it be based on extraction, benefiting a few dominant players, or on collaboration, as it was done in the last decade, where the value is shared among all participants, even if in different shares? The outcome will define the next decade of our digital lives. So, let's recap a little bit. The battle lines are drawn. On one side, the drive for AI innovation at any cost. On the other, the principle that creation requires compensation and that competition requires a level playing field. Not more than that. And this is not about stopping progress. It's about deciding if the future will be built on top of the existing ecosystem of creator, or it will be built upon its ruins, we may say. And so, what do you think? Is this a necessary check on corporate power, or is it Europe putting the brakes on innovation? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights from where technology, policy and society collide on a distinct European point of view. That is what we are doing in this channel, by the way. And as always, at this time as well, thank you so much for listening to me, and be prepared e state parati. Ciao Internet, my name is Matteo Flora, and while Silicon Valley moves fast and breaks things, here on this channel we look at how technology, society and rules collide, and we do that from a distinct European perspective, since I'm from Italy. In real life, I try to help businesses survive this shift. I have funded several companies dealing in AI agents, in reputational intelligence, and in high-stakes crisis management. But here, we just take a look at regulation, at digital rights, and AI governance most of the time. So check the description if you need to contact me, and subscribe to the channel for our weekly updates, because it's never too late to be prepared, and estate parati.